Go ahead and try to do 6 on your own. Of course, using this same form that we've already gone over. Try to figure out what the middle is. And then see if you can put it in your calculator to get the other points. And again, we're not going to do much more than this with these things than we're doing right now. There's a lot more to know about them and to do with them. We are going to come back and do domain and range for these because these are going to be a little bit different than what we did yesterday. And hopefully you can figure out the middle is going to be what? Because this one, we do the opposite. Okay, and that's hard for people to get. That one's going to end up being backwards. And the reason why it's the opposite is basically I want this to be 0. What value of x could make this 0? The value of x would be -3, because -3 plus 3 is 0, right? So that's kind of what that is. It's just the opposite. So once you know where the middle is, you know when you do your t-table, I want this to be in the middle. That means I need these numbers and these numbers. And which is a good thing. You notice how this graph is made to help you? It looks like it's all going to be in the negatives, isn't it? Okay, that's why they scooted this graph over, because your graph is going to be in this area. Okay, this is harder when we don't get a pre-done graph where you have to do your own. This is telling you if you get numbers that don't fit on here, guess what? You're wrong, right? Because this is supposed to help you guys. This is supposed to basically take it down a level. So, because that's the level we're at Algebra 1 level. And so we just want to look at these graphs for what they are. And this is going to be the last graph that we're going to do this year. We might look at some charts this year, but we're not going to do any more graphs. When I say charts, I'm talking about like bar charts or box and whisker or pie charts, that kind of stuff. All right. Hopefully we're getting things, and I noticed that this negative right here, what's this negative going to do? Do we remember? Is it going to turn my smile upside down? It's going to make it a frown. You know, negative feelings cause you to frown, right? That's how I think about it. Positive, you smile. Negative, you frown. If you don't like that, then I'm sorry. I think that's how they teach parabolas since the Stone Ages. All right, we got to type in the right thing. If we don't type in the right thing, it won't work. So -2 parentheses x plus 3 parentheses squared minus 3. Okay, you can change that if you really, really wanted to. But I'm just going to find the 3. You know, I definitely don't. Do I want to graph that stuff? I could though, right? But that's probably not going to help me much. I don't want to graph it going into -101. Eventually it will go that high. But I want to go to wherever my middle point was. Let's check it. Is that right? -3, -3? Did that right? So then I can do -5, -11. We'll see if that fits on the graph, but at least that will. And I'm betting, if we did this right, that this is -5 and this is -11. Because it should be kind of a mirror image where -3, -3 is a mirror. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I'm right. That means everything it's self-checking pretty much, right? If you find the right middle point, then that means everything's going to fall in place. This should be easy to graph. All right, -5 would be here. Does it go down to -11? It does. And again, you got to trust me on this, and you got to trust these graphs that they're going to fit. Because that's how we have them, so it makes it easier for you to know that you're right. So you can feel better about your answers. Is that the right place to put it? I feel as though this is not the right place to put it. I feel as though this is -5. Okay, so ignore this one. I was wrong. -3. 3 is right here. -2, -5. And -1. All right. And remember, it's curved. Okay. So remember what we discovered yesterday is when we have a bigger number here, it makes it skinnier, it makes it closer together. If I had a fraction here, it would make it wider. All right, now we're going to go back and do the hard part. Maybe it's the hard part. Domain and range. Okay. And just looking at here, and that's the nice thing about a calculator. Let's see. If I just keep going like this on my calculator, what's happening to the numbers? Okay. So, am I ever going to have to stop? Is there ever going to be an x that I'm not going to get a value for? Okay. Maybe eventually the calculator will get to its limit, but that doesn't mean that's the limit. Okay, so it looks to me like I can go forever in this direction. Okay, and I bet you I can go forever in the next direction. And so, again, these are going to be, both of these are going to be all real numbers. Okay. Range is really what we're worried about with these kind of graphs. So that's really what I want you to focus on. Basically, it looks like this goes up forever, but it doesn't look like it goes down forever. So we're going to have y is greater than or equal to what? What is the bottom number y can be? This is the bottom right here, right? Yeah. And it happens to be this number right here every single time. That gives you your bottom number. So in this case, we're not going to have a bottom number, we're going to have a top number, right? So we get y instead of greater than, all the y's are going to be less than or equal to what? It's also going to be in -3. Okay? Just looking at this one, we haven't graphed it, and we probably won't. But I bet you I could tell you the range right now. I'm going to say that the range is going to be y is, well, which way do we think this is going? Is this going to go up or down? Is this going to be a smiley or a frowny? Frowny, so it's going to go down. So that means that the y is going to be less than or equal to what number? Okay, so even if you can't read the graph, that starting point is either going to be the top number or the bottom number. And that's it. So what I'm going to say, go ahead and do the rest of your